Hello and welcome to the More Cheese Less Whiskers podcast. My name is Dean Jackson, and today we're talking with Steve Nelson from Foster, Australia. And Steve's a building contractor. He works with remodels and new construction and all kinds of projects. And one of the things that we talked about, which turned out to be one of the big opportunities for him, is his after unit. Turns out that a lot of his business is by referral. He's been in business for over 30 years and knows a lot of the people in the town, and his reputation is great. He does a good job. So, of course, he's going to get referral business. And luckily, most of it just happens without him really doing anything to orchestrate it. So we looked at that as a big opportunity, and we had a great conversation about a strategy for him to orchestrate referrals in a low-cost way that'll have a big ROI for him. Then we talked about targeting specific people on the high end of what he likes to do, which is full house remodels. And we talked about a really great strategy to attract just those people. So here we go. I think you're going to enjoy this episode. Steve Nelson.
Hey, Dean. How are you, mate?
I'm so good. So where are you calling in from today?
I'm in New South Wales, Australia, so about 4 hours north of Sydney in a small town, about 20,000 people.
Okay.
Our population, we're on the coast. We go from 20,000 to about 90,000 during the summer holidays. So
nice.
It's a nice little spot. Yeah, nice
Love
little
it.
spot.
What's the name of the town?
Foster, Tuncurry.
Foster, okay.
Yeah, got to check it out if ever you get over this way.
Well, I go there every year. I'm going to be in Manly in November.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
great spot.
I love those beach towns. It's so great.
Yeah, I'll send you some photos when we finish the call, and you can see what Foster looks like.
Okay, very cool. I love it. So, welcome. I'm glad we were able to connect here. And I know a little bit about what you do, but it's always good to have you kind of set the stage for us. We got the whole hour here to hatch some evil schemes. So I'd love to hear what you're up to and what we can focus on.
Cool. So I'm a builder in this area, and we've got about 3 to 4 staff on our team. We do bathroom renovations up to major renovations and new builds. I started the bathroom business off about 3 years ago as a sideline because I like how it runs with minimal staff. It's more subcontractors and it's just all management. Yes. And the margins are better there. So I've sort of been pushing that, and that's something that I wanted to work on with you. I find that the new builds are very competitive with too many builders going in too cheap, coming in very cheap, and they're not there in 5 years' time because they can't survive. So, it's a competitive game. So I'm just trying to get a bit of a niche that works for me. And our town it's like a retirement town. So the majority of my clients are over 55 or retired. So I do like dealing with them. They're generally honest, and they've got the money, and they're not worried about banks and so on. So that's sort of my target that I go after.
Okay.
I did take on some coaching about a year and a half ago, building coaching through a business coach that actually does builders, which has been really good. So they've helped me get a website set up with an ebook, a lead generator ebook magazine. So I've got a CRM sort of building. We do pretty active on Facebook and Instagram. We do support some local sports clubs, kids and so on. And I've just started to sponsor the veterans golf because they've obviously back into my niche market age group.
Yes, right.
That's a bit of a summary anyway.
Okay, so when we look at it right now, then how how do you find people to work with right now? What's your process for your before unit? If we were to say, how do you get new clients?
Well, I just say, for example, I've just started to run a post, and I'm running it through a lady who's doing a newsletter for me. She does copywriting.
Yep.
I'm trying to lock in another decent sized job. We run lots of jobs, smaller ones. Like we've generally got 4 to 6 jobs going at a time. Okay. And so, for example, I'm trying to lock in some bigger jobs. So I'm going to get a post put together with a little short video or something, and Facebook and Instagram. It's looking for more, just to tell them the calendar's clear to make a start before Christmas, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So I get leads for bathrooms sometimes through my shower screen supplier or the plumbing supply shop. I've done a referral thing with the girls down there and give them a voucher when they send some work my way.
Okay.
I do, the Facebook that generates a few things here and there. I've got the website, which is sort of more professional now.
Yeah.
We've been in the town 30 years. So it's a family business, so we do get a referral work where people just come to us because they've been referred to by a past client. So
right.
My after unit is pretty good, but it needs definitely tidying up, I think.
Well, let's start with that for a second then, because that's an easy one to kind of have an impact. If you're saying like a lot of your business right now comes from referrals, how do you measure that? Like if you look at how much of your business comes from the different sources, how much of it would come from your after unit?
You'd probably 30%, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Yesterday we did. Sorry.
Yeah. How many jobs would you do in a year? Just so we get a scope here.
Yeah, 15 to 20. So it's not a lot.
Okay.
Because one job can run for 8 months.
Right.
It's
exactly.
a decent sized place. Whereas a bathroom's sort of 4 to 5 weeks. So I'd like to be starting one of them every 2 or 3 weeks and have them overlapping.
Okay. And
so I think
how many people do you have that you would consider in your after unit, meaning they're clients that you've had or your sphere, people that sort of thing?
Well, I think I've got about 130 on my email list, and they're made up of past clients and suppliers. So they're not all past clients. I don't know. There's probably 50 or something, 70 maybe there.
Of people. Yeah, you would count the people that know you. What I'm looking for in your after unit here is how many people, if somebody was talking about getting a bathroom today, that they would say, well, you need to call Steve, or that they would think about you and refer you. Not that can be people who haven't necessarily done a job with you, but would know enough to send people in your direction or to tell you about those people.
Yeah.
And so typically, those would be people that if you saw them at the grocery store, you'd recognize them by name and you'd stop and have a conversation with them. Your top group of people. So if we look at it from that perspective, would you say that there would be 150 people that you might know that way?
I think there would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially being a smaller town and being known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how often would you communicate with those people, or how do you communicate with them?
Well, that's where I've only just started this week to talk to this lady who's going to help me do the newsletter for me that we'll send out. So I've got that list finalised and it's in my software.
Okay.
So the newsletter is probably the first time that I've actually communicated with them all as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the first step moving forward.
Yes.
And then and then I'll give them the ebook as well so that they can share it. Or
that's great, because how often, like, if a third of your business right now, like, you're thinking about this, if 5, 6, 7 people a year are coming to you by referral, or do you ever do repeat jobs where you do a bathroom for somebody and then they bring you in to do the kitchen or do another addition or whatever else?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So when you look at it right now, that those opportunities are already happening. So you're already like pre-funded in your after unit. It's the way I like to think of it, like that. Like, you've already got a winner there. You haven't been communicating with them. So all of that business is like a bonus for you, right? Because it doesn't really cost you anything. It's just the reputation that you've already built and the fact that you do a good job and the relationships that you have. So you've got a great foundation there. And how do those actually manifest? Like, how do can you think of one of the recent jobs that was the result of a referral, and how you got connected to them?
Yeah, we're just looking at a beachfront renovation now. They're friends of one of our past clients, and this past client is also a friend of my father, so it's a pretty close referral.
Yeah.
So they've bought a very nice home and they want to spend probably $350,000 on it, and they've come to us before going to the draftsman. I've hooked them up with a draftsman to put it all on paper, and then I'll help them through the design process. So that's one sort of part. That's a referral.
So how did that happen though? Like, the first, did they call you?
Yep. Yeah.
And they said what?
They said, we're friends with such and such who are our past clients, and so that's how it happened. Yeah.
Okay. And is that typically how it happens? Like, they'll call you up and say, "Oh, we're friends with such and such, your client, and we're looking to do our bathroom, and they said you did theirs, and we love theirs, so we'd like you to come and do ours." Yeah. So those are what I call passive referrals, right? Like, they're just showing up. You're not like one of 5 people who they're asking for bids or things. They're basically calling you up and saying, "You're our man. We'd love to work with you." And that's a great thing, especially since you're not doing any communicating with them to encourage that. So now imagine if you tried like that. Like, I look at it that, the way we think about your after unit is that all those referrals happen as a result of conversation, right? So they're in a conversation with somebody and they're talking about their renovation, or we just bought a new beach house, or we're thinking about redoing the bathroom, or we want to add an addition on to the house, or we're going to redo the kitchen, whatever it is, that they're in a conversation and somebody says, well, we had Steve do our bathroom and he was great. You should give him a call. Here's his number, right?
Yeah.
Or look him up. So all those things are happening. And the way that we look at it is that the mechanics are that, what has to take place is that they have to notice that the conversations about renovation or construction or whatever it is, they have to think about you, and then they have to introduce the person to you, right? That's how it's happening. Would you say that 90% or more of the calls that come in with those kind of referrals are just like what you described to me, compared to your client calling you and saying, you should give Jason a call, they're thinking about adding on a bathroom?
Yeah, the majority of them are like the first case. Yeah,
they call you.
Yeah. So like yesterday, I was at a job. We did a bathroom for his disabled wife a year and a half ago, and he wanted a patio roof replaced. So he rang me up last week. He said, when you got time, come and do it. So we replaced it for him yesterday. Yeah. And he just got back from playing bridge. And he said, lady's going to give you a call. He said, I was telling her that I was getting some work done at home and everything was going really well. And she's going to call you. I don't know what sort of work it is. So, yeah, that was another referral where he just passed my number on and that.
Right. And she called you. That's awesome. So it's happening. I mean, there's.
I was saying she hasn't called yet, but she hasn't called yet. Yeah. But I expect to, for sure.
Yeah. And that's a great testimony to you. That shows that you do a great job and that people are pleased, and there's so many of the intangibles, right, that people are they don't want to get. They want to go with someone trustworthy and reliable and honest and going to do the job. So it's much easier to rely on a referral from your friend. So imagine if we were to try and orchestrate this. What would be the average kind of job size that you might do, or the amount of money? Like you just described a $300,000 addition, and what would be on the low end of what you do, like redoing a bathroom or?
Yeah, well, generally the contract jobs are generally from a bathroom's around 20,000 as a minimum. That's like a small ensuite. Yeah, and then we've done a couple of additions this year that worth around 170,000. And we're doing a granny flat, which is like a little house out the back for the nana, the grandparent.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's something that I've been posting on Facebook a bit too, that the progress of the granny flat, to get that sort of. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know whether I've got too many different areas on.
No, that's we'll talk about that in the before unit here, but what I just want to get a sense that it's hundreds of thousands of dollars that are coming by referral right now from your after unit. And so what I'm looking at, and that's with no money spent on them, that if we could get a strategy together for sending something to your top 150 every month, and let's say that you budget and spend $2 per person per month for something, that you're spending $300 a month times, let's call it even 10 months, if you just want to do that, $3,000, that the investment of that could be a big game changer for you, in terms of if we have, so all we're trying to do is we want to program people so that when they hear those conversations, that they are immediately think of you, and that you've got an easy way for them to refer you. An easy way for them to call you to get something to give to them. Tell me about your book that you have.
The ebook, it's basically it's about 15 pages. It's got a couple of pages in it of case studies, like a couple of big homes and that we built, and it's got like a bit of information about the processes of building and renovating and the steps you should take. It's got some warnings and things to look out for. And I'll keep adding to it. Like we've just jumped onto Builder Trend software, so I'm gonna add a page on that. And I've got another couple of case studies to add to it. So it's something that it's an electronic one, so I can keep adding pages to it. And it generates people download it from the website. We get email, we collect emails through that, and it chips away slowly. So
well, part of what I would look at is to start to think about the and we can use your after unit as a great laboratory for this, or a great catalyst to build these out. That if you think about, let's list the top 3 or 4 types of jobs that you would most like to get. If we could wave a magic wand, what's you love the bathroom as a nice thing, and that's a high probability.
Yeah. I like. You there?
Yep. You like what else?
Yeah, I do like to do luxury homes. I do like that sort of market as well. I like doing full makeovers. So we're in a house that's 35 years old now. We're going right through the whole internal and doing it all up, and then we're adding
full makeovers. That's what you said.
Yeah, full makeover. Yeah, I really like doing them. So I see the bathrooms as a good little turnover thing to keep things ticking over, and possibly something that I can systemize with my software and even sell down the track. That's possible. That's sort of something that I am thinking of. So I don't really like going in and doing little decks and that sort of thing. I'd rather just
what about kitchens?
They're very low margin because kitchen companies generally are capable of doing all of that themselves.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Unless they move abstraction.
What about the granny flats?
Yeah, they're fine too. Yep. But again, I think there's a lot of people that find it hard to justify the cost of them because there's cheap granny flat builders that you see advertising, whereas the one we've built, she got it custom designed and she's gone over the top with everything, so it's pretty expensive for what it is. And but it's rolled into landscaping and paving, and we can do it and organise it all because we've got the trade. So that's something.
What about those? Are you familiar in the U.S.? There's a term called she sheds. Do you know about those? Is that a thing? Like man cave? Okay, so there's 2 things.
I've heard of man caves, but not she sheds. No.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Is the counter to it is like like a man cave. A man would build like a retreat out in the yard kind of thing is man cave. But the counter to that is the she shed. And so it would be like a dainty kind of place that would be like very feminine with, feminine decorated, but the same idea, like a thing like that. Is that something that would there would be a market for, do you think?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
What about...
The problem is that most blocks are very small anyway, so they're struggling to get, decent sheds or granny flats on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, what about like building a cottage, like a granny flat or something, on the site with the purpose of doing Airbnb on it, or as a moneymaker?
Yes, so we did one early this year for some clients that they were referred to me by my draftsman or drafts lady. We put an addition on the back, which is 2 bedrooms, kitchen, bathroom, and their idea is that they'll let it out to a company that does like weekend retreats for special needs clients.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So and they also they can rent it out or Airbnb it. So that is a market for sure.
Like, you wonder, that might be a unique thing that like income units that you might be able to pioneer, kind of thing. How many
do you think you could write a story on that in the newsletter? Is that what you're suggesting?
That's exactly what I'm suggesting. What often happens is I'm looking to highlight the different things that you really like to do and tell stories about those, but also to presence them in the mind of people who may think that all you do is bathrooms because that's what they did with you. Or they may think...
That has been a problem too, because I have been pushing the bathrooms for a while, but I've got a builder that works with us as part of the sort of... He's involved with some of the projects.
Mm-hmm.
So the bigger jobs are something we can run now with more of us. So I have got that reputation now of bathrooms, even though we've been building in town for years and years. And we always are doing bigger projects. No, you're right.
Right.
For sure.
Right. Yeah. So I think those kind of things, like, presencing the things that, if every month you have an amazing, where you're telling a story about something, or you're highlighting a job that you're doing, or you're just kind of presencing that conversation for people. So if you're saying, we use something we call the world's most interesting postcard for referrals. And on the back side of the postcard, on the front side is just all like interesting and fascinating kind of facts or tips and things like that. Then on the back side of the postcard is a graphic that looks like a Post-it note, where we write a note that would say, hey, Steve, just a quick note in case you hear someone talking about redoing their bathroom this month. Summer's almost, or even though, we're in the middle of winter right now. That's where you are, right? That spring's coming, and that's everybody's getting ready for the summer. And if you hear someone talking about doing a bathroom, give me a call or text me, and I'll get you our free bathroom planner guide to give them. Yeah. It's got all kinds of tips and pricing and budgeting ideas for them. It'll be very helpful as they plan their bathroom remodel. Now that's a very easy thing for you to create, that you could do that for bathrooms. You could do that for full makeovers. You could do it to highlight the different things, So
and just email them out, Dean. Email the postcard out. You mean?
No, I'm saying like a physical, mail something to them, because they'll hold it in their hand. They see something. It's that's what I was talking about, the physical cost of it, right? Of saying, let's say that I don't know what it costs to send postcards in Australia, but for about $1, $1.50, $1.60 US, we can send what would be an A4 size piece of paper as a postcard, like a big full sheet postcard, where you could on the front have some articles, highlights, different things that you're doing, and then on the back you'd have room for that referral programming, right? Just a quick note in case you hear someone talking about it, and then your super signature, right? Whenever you're ready, here's 3 ways we can help you. So that you're presencing it, and every month that would bring to the front of their mind all the different things that you help people with, so that when they hear someone talking about doing a remodel, you'll be top of mind, and they'll know, oh, Steve does full makeovers in addition to the bathroom that he did for us, because they may think that you only do the bathroom, or if you did a full makeover for someone, they may think that you only do full makeovers and you don't want to bother with somebody who's just going to do a bathroom.
Yep. I know what you mean, for sure.
Yeah. So we want to presence all those things as much as possible. Have you heard me talk about what happened with me with the Empire flooring? There's a company here in the U.S. that they've been running ads for, I mean, at least 25 years, I remember. And I paid no attention to them. And then maybe 18 months ago, now somebody in one of my real estate forums had a post that said, does anybody know where I can get same day, get carpet replaced today? We have a closing tomorrow and the painters just spilled paint all over the carpet and it's ruined. So Empire is a company that does same day flooring. So they have a jingle that, they do that thing, but as soon as I saw that post, my mind immediately started singing the Empire flooring jingle with their phone number in it. So it's 800-588-2300 Empire. And I realized in that moment that had been smuggled into my brain without my permission and had just been living there rent-free for 20 years, waiting to get triggered by somebody saying, do you know where to get same-day carpet? And I thought, wow, that's very powerful. But imagine if all of your top 150 were programmed that every time somebody's talking about getting a bathroom remodel or adding a granny flat or doing a full house makeover or building a luxury home or building an income suite, you may plant that idea for people. You start thinking in an innovative kind of way, That's a big opportunity for you.
Yeah, and you look at, I got a phone call yesterday. This is like in relation to the before unit. She's rung up, she found the website and she wanted a bathroom and blending, create one bathroom into an ensuite bathroom. And I qualify them on the phone before I go out and say that they're going to cost X amount of dollars without looking at it. because quite often a job that's worth 20, 25, they want to spend 12 because they really don't know
Right.
how much things are. And
Right.
so it's quite handy because I'm not going out and wasting a lot of time now like I was.
Right.
But if you were going to do postcards or the ebook, do you think you would put that sort of qualifying dollar values in there or not?
I think so. If that's because you can definitely use it as a filter, like you're not interested in doing the $12,000 bathroom. So
you can't, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you say that to people, and it's you're not looking for the people that the price is the main issue, right? You're looking for people who they're going to get a fair price, like what would be great, but they're going to get a great. It's more important to them to have it done well and have it done reliably without all the hassle or letdowns that they may have. So that's what you really bring to it, right? But I would look at the different things that you do, and some of these tools, I would definitely, in your after unit, pick your top 150, identify who those are, and then kind of commit to, every month we're going to send a postcard to them, and then look at what the ROI on that $3,000 over the next 12 months would be. If you look at it, if your minimum thing is a $20,000 job, and the full remodel or the beach home remodel or whatever those things are, those are going to be there's a big opportunity there. That's a sure thing, like ROI generator.
What if I can't get a lot of the addresses? What's the next best option? I know the physical postcard is a great idea, but what's the next step?
Why wouldn't you be able to get the address? Aside from that, you don't already have them.
It's just time, I guess. It's just an effort.
That's what it is. And that's the thing is you can get somebody to get them, right? Like it really, it literally, it takes, if even going from a standing start, somebody, you could get somebody to get those addresses because they're all in town, right? So that there's how many Steve Nelsons are there in Foster, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody went to look up in a People Finder site, Steve Foster, that you're going to know, whatever you know about it, that's all it takes, right? And then
you've got I've got their email anyway. I can ask them.
Yeah. And that's it. So I think that's, but there's a definite advantage to being in the mail as opposed to just in email too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Because then they can hand it. Then they can hand the postcard to somebody, or they can, there's the physical things that mounting evidence.
Yeah. The coach also suggested that you do a postcard and for a few surrounding streets of the jobs you're on, just do a letterbox drop. So we're actually getting them made as well. Right.
So I think there's a good, we'll tie a bow on that one for your after unit that you've already got. You've proven that you are referable, which is a great start. And now you've got the, it's now about formalizing, like knowing who those people are, getting their address, and then starting to mail them in a way that programs them to think about you when they hear those conversations and to call you. So part of the thing that we look for is the specific consultations kind of based on what the overriding context is. So if somebody's calling about a bathroom remodel, that you may have a booklet or a saddle stitched, like a 16 or 20 page guide that you can print for them, or in addition to a PDF version of it, that would be the equivalent of a seminar on what to consider or look at when starting out on a bathroom remodel. So it could be your bathroom planner guide, right? To show people what to think about, how to budget for it, where the opportunity is, like the difference between getting, marble versus a ceramic tile, or, where they can save money, where they get the biggest bang for their buck. If they're talking about fixtures or, whatever your best advice would be for somebody thinking about a bathroom remodel, for instance.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So that's all a good thing. Now, the same thing, then, you could use that in the before unit. Now, since you're in Foster, is Foster a town that's kind of like, is it kind of a standalone town, or is it like that the next town is right on the heels of it, and then the next town and the next town, or is it?
Yeah, no, it's Foster Tunco is two little villages on the either side of this lake opening. So it's joined by a bridge now, but we're by ourselves. So yeah, the biggest city is Newcastle, which is 2 hours away.
Okay, great. So so it's isolated. I mean, everybody there is. So the people there right now, like you said, that right now there's 20,000 people there, but 6 months from now there'll be 90,000 people there.
Yes. Yeah. That's
okay.
Right.
Yeah. So part of the thing is the information that you're getting is really going to be a powerful thing. How many households are there, since that's the raw material of what you're dealing with, right? Like there's how many households are there in Foster?
I don't know. I'd have to do some research.
Yes.
I don't. We have lots of little high-rise, 10-story high-rise full of holiday units, and there's ones here that are probably 35 years old, and they're still, like, they're building some now. So they're continually putting some up every year or two. So there's lots of holiday units, lots of properties that are empty most of the year.
Are those kind of the units, the you're talking about condo units kind of thing, or apartment units?
That's it. Yeah.
And are those the ones where you do the bathroom remodels, or are you talking about single family homes that you're doing?
Well, we do both. I have done a few full unit refurbs where we've gone through and done the whole lot. I'm finding I've probably lost a few of those jobs recently. I priced one just 2 weeks ago. So I don't know whether, I think the competition's a bit too cheap in them, so I don't seem to be winning many of them. So I'm just wondering whether they're
people are probably cost conscious in that because there's less of an upside. Like there's kind of a cap on what those can actually be worth, right? Like compared to a house on the beach or a house on the water. It sounds like there's a lot of waterfront where you
definitely.
are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How many waterfront homes would there be?
Water views, there's a lot, because there's hills all around looking out over the ocean and then back over the lake. So hundreds. Yeah.
And I'm just wondering about, like, if you were to take like a CAT scan kind of view of the area there, that what kind of a house or how many homes would be similar to the one where you're doing the $300,000 full remodel?
Yeah, so that's an old area of Foster that's on the Keys. So it's probably 30, 40 years old, and that was key water development, the canal sort of thing.
Yes.
So lots of them are ready and need renovating because the bathrooms leak and the houses are crap, really. A lot of them are old, and there's quite a market down there. But then you go up onto the beach, and there's lots of old ones there too. So there's a lot of renovation work to come into this area, and that's sort of what I want to keep pushing along in that area, renovations.
Yeah.
And
so right now, would you say, is this like a slower time or busier time for you? Or is it, I don't know how, do you work in the opposite of the season, or are you busier in the summer and less busy in the winter, or is it the opposite?
Yeah, well, see, we're not as heavily impacted by like you guys in the States. Like some of your areas get under snow. We don't get snow, so we just get a bit of cold weather. So it doesn't really change much for us. It's the whole building economy is very solid in Australia at the moment, or especially in our area. I guess I want to set myself up to be in a good position for when things slow down too. So that's sort of why I've been doing what I've been doing. So we don't really have a busy period. It just depends on what work you've got booked in. So yesterday I was talking to the council. They've got some projects coming up to start later this year into next year, like public works jobs. So I'll probably have a crack at a couple of them and see if I get them, just because they're a decent size job.
How big is the house that you're doing the $300,000 remodel on?
Probably square feet, probably about 240 square meters.
Okay, I don't know how to convert that.
Do you call your houses in squares? Measure them in squares?
Square feet, yeah. Square feet.
It's like it's a
Siri listens to me while we're
three.
Hey Siri.
Siri will know.
I guess I can't talk to Siri while I'm on the phone.
No,
but
probably
anyway,
not.
Is it a pretty big house, or just that the
like
houses are expensive?
No, it's like a 4-bedroom house. It's on the canal, so it's in that old area that's on the water. So it's got the aspect.
Would you say what I'm looking for is, if it were possible, like if all we're doing, how in the before unit, our profit activator number one is to select a single target market, right?
Yeah.
So if we went through Foster and we said, how many homes would there be that, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 full remodel would be in the realm of possibility for them? How many homes would there be that would fit that criteria?
Oh, it'd be hundreds. Definitely. Yeah.
And do you think, could we get to 1,000?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
So what I would look for, if I were to describe it, if I were to say, what if we found what I call 1,000 dream homes? 1,000 that would be your, I'd love to do that house. I'd love to do that house. I'd love to do that house. If you pre-selected 1,000 homes that would have the perfect criteria, whether they're, on the water, whether it's because of the age of the home, the value of the home, the size of the home, whatever it is that would make that a viable candidate for a full remodel,
Yeah.
could we get to 1,000 of those?
Yeah, let's just say 700, to be more conservative. Yeah, I think you would.
Okay. So, and the reason I'm looking at that is, if you look at it, what I would look to do then is that if you're going to do a $100, $200, $300,000 remodel anywhere in Foster, it's highly likely that it's going to be one of those 1,000 homes.
Yeah.
That's what we want to get to, right? Like if anybody in Foster is going to do $100,000 to $300,000 remodel, they would more than likely live in one of these 1,000 homes. That's what we would be looking for, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, when you look at it, that how common is it that somebody would do a full remodel like that?
It's not that common because it's a lot of money for people to spend when the house is probably worth $5 or whatever. Then they're going to spend $3. It's my clients are coming from out of town, and I don't know how financial they are, but they're happy to spend a fair bit of money on this place. So but it does happen. We did a renovation for a doctor early this year, and he spent $500 on his reno. So
and it's a second home, right? A vacation home for him.
No, he's moving into it. So but we've done work for him. It's the third job we've done for him. So so this big spend isn't that common, but we're talking about this other one I mentioned earlier, the referral job that the drafts lady's working on. They're going to spend that sort of money, so they do happen. You might,
And so what I would look at for that is the same kind of thing. Like I would look to isolate those homes and identify who they are. Like one of the things that we did was in Winter Haven, where I am, for one of our realtors, we chose lakefront homes. And, we identified that there were 2,000 lakefront homes in Winter Haven. And we were looking for the people who want to sell their home, right? And we knew that on average, about 4% of them sell their home every year. So we were looking for, the 80 people that were going to sell their house in the next 12 months. And so if I were looking at that, I would look to build that list of who those homeowners are, and then do the same kind of thing, a monthly postcard to that group of people with an eye on getting them to request your full house remodel guide, or your, showing all the different things that might go into be appealing to somebody who's thinking about doing a remodel like that. And if each month you're highlighting, showing some of the work that you're doing, and offering the first step for people, whether it's the planning guide or idea guide or budgeting tool, something that would encourage those people to take their first step. Even if you show people like remodel prices, like what, because anybody thinking about that might be thinking, well, what do we get for the money, or what can we do? How much is it going to cost us to remodel, right? People don't maybe have a sense of the budget of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And what would be some of the questions that people who are considering a full remodel ask you? Like, what are the most common questions that they ask you?
Yeah, I guess it depends when I get to them. Like, if I can get to them before they go to the draftsman, I can quite often help them save, money on simplifying design and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Questions they ask. I always try to show them some work we've got going around town or past projects.
Yeah. It's interesting. It could be as simple as, if you show, it's an interesting thing that, how, they do it here in America. They do it in Australia. In fashion magazines, they'll often show a celebrity and their outfit, and then they'll show that you can get the look for this amount of money. So they'll say, here's this gown that this celebrity was wearing at this show, and here's the dress that gets you that look without the thousands of dollars for the gown. So in like women's magazines, and I wonder if you have the same opportunity for showing one bathroom versus another bathroom and saying how to get this, how to save $7,000 on this $28,000 bathroom remodel. And you point out that this, these fixtures or this tile versus this tile or those kind of swaps kind of thing that might.
Yeah. And how do you show them in a magazine, like photos or get access?
What I would look at is almost like the postcard model that I've been using the most now, really kind of innovating it, is to imagine that what would be what's a popular home magazine in Australia? Like,
I don't really read them. You've got all sorts of luxury home ones and home and garden and that sort of thing.
Yeah, like a home and garden.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is this is the way that I use it, is to imagine that you had the opportunity to, what if they said to you, listen, Steve, we want you to write a monthly article for us on luxury remodels. And we're going to run this full page article in our magazine for you every month. What would that article look like? Like, that's the kind of thing. Like, imagine it like as if it's in the pages of one of those luxury home magazines, right? But it's an article that you're describing how people can save money on their remodels, or how they can, what's unique things that they can do in their remodels, or the new luxury must-haves, or things that are positioning you as a luxury remodel expert on the front side. So we do that instead of it being a page in a magazine that maybe they'll see on page 37 or whatever. We just take that, we imagine that you're doing the same thing, that we're writing a full page article for you. Do that on the front page, and also offer your book or your planner or some tool that they can get by just emailing or going to the website or texting. And then on the back side of the postcard, we offer, show them works in progress or case studies or before and afters, highlighting all of your best work. And then your offer block. So it's like, whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways we can help you save money and get
a great remodel. And it might be start with our remodel planning guide, or get our budgeting tool, or get our idea guide. So you're getting people who are all three approaches. Some people may be inspired by wanting to get all the planning, like get everything ready, right, before they start it. Then there are other people who just want to be inspired by all the creative ideas that they could do. Or there might be other people who want to get down to the budgeting of it, right? The money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you've got a way that appeals to those three things, that would be a great opportunity there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I find too often the builders engaged way too late in the process, and the clients have come to me, and the budget they've got compared to what the drawings want is can be double what they can spend. And
right.
I just met a guy who's just starting business now, where he offers the whole package, from looking at a block, helping people design a house through a draftsman, and then going through the process of helping him find the builder. So I've sort of been speaking with him as being the builder in this area for him, and then he takes 3% of the project once it's underway. So
nice.
it's something that's really, really handy, because as everything gets harder with councils these days, and the process of getting plans approved is quite painful. So he's onto something there, and I think it's certainly something that's needed out here in Australia. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think that would be my. Those would be two great strategies for you, I think.
Yeah, I might get something about him in one of the newsletters or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very interesting. But I can't believe how fast the time's gone here. We get going.
It goes fast, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, I could talk for hours.
Yeah. What's your take here? What did you? What would be the recap for you here?
It's been fantastic, because I've listened to lots of your shows, and it's always been something that I can't relate to my business, because building's different, or that's my thought process anyway.
Yeah.
I think the being in the people's mind and reminding them with the newsletter, I think that's a really good idea. The physical newsletter.
Yes, exactly.
And then I think the idea of the email regular newsletter is something that I've got to push on with, and that will happen in the next week or so. So I might even send it to you if you want to have a look.
Yes, of course.
And the other thing is the postcards in the streets, where I think there's potential. The big renos we're talking about, those select homes, the ones that are on the water, just But I'd like to, I'll send my drafts to you, and if you have time, you can have a quick look and see what you reckon. And
that sounds great.
It's been awesome. Really appreciate your time.
That's great, Steve. I really enjoyed it. I think you got a great thing going there. And
I hope it helps some other builders out when they listen to it.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, cool, mate. Right. Well, thank you so much again.
Thanks, Steve. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care, Dan. Bye, mate.
Bye.
Bye.
And there we have it. Another great episode. Thanks for listening in. If you want to continue the conversation, we'll go deeper in how the 8 Profit Activators can apply to your business. 2 things you can do. Right now, you can go to morecheeselesswhiskers.com, and you can download a copy of the More Cheese Less Whiskers book And you can listen to the back episodes, of course, if you're just listening here on iTunes. Secondly, the thing that we talk about in applying all of the 8 profit activators are part of the breakthrough DNA process. And you can download a book and a scorecard and watch a video all about the 8 profit activators at breakthroughdna.com. And that's a great place to start the journey in applying this scientific approach to growing your business. That's really the way we think about Breakthrough DNA, as an operating system that you can overlay on your existing business and immediately look for insights there. So that's it for this week. Have a great week, and we will be back next time with another episode of More Cheese, Less Whiskers.